Hey, good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. Tonight's show is The Angry Black Woman and Exotic. I hope everybody's well out there. I know a couple people had questioned me about the title. Like, are we going to do this again? Um, I think you guys will get an interesting perspective of what we're going to discuss tonight, and you guys be able to respond, be in the chat, and talk about the angry black woman stereotype and the exotic stereotype. But what is exotic? Who defines exotic? Um, Tonight, as you guys can see, we have Keisha and Keita. What's up, y'all?
Hey,
Hey,
What's going on?
nothing.
nothing.
Keisha, how was the vacation?
It was okay. It's
Okay.
never long enough.
So tonight's topic for everybody that's joining on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, it was based. This the topic was broached based off of an incident or interview that 50 Cent and Lil Wayne had. And I'm gonna play it for everybody to hear it, and then I'll play it again, and then I'll play it again a little later. But we're gonna play it so everybody can hear it, and then we're gonna discuss it.
You see what I'm saying? And I look and I go, yo, this is why they get mad, they get angry. And you see a lot of sisters, they go, oh, you fucking with this kind of girl or that kind of girl. That shit is exotic.
Stupid.
That shit look a lot different from the shit that you see in the neighborhood all the time. It looks like that shit look like it came off a boat, baby. Goddamn, you don't like that motherfucker? You don't like that? You go, goddamn, what's the matter with you? This shit feels like something foreign. It feels like something that you can't just get. So in some kind of ways, it is interesting to explore. You know what I'm saying? But they get mad, they get angry. How did you end up with this motherfucker or this, that? I'm like, huh?
For real. They get
I
real
just look at it
upset.
like, oh, look at this angry. And then my instincts always makes me defensive. So I go, look at this angry black motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. You're trying to fuck up the whole vibe. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because you're going,
Now, for those that don't know, ever since 50 and Lil Wayne had that interview, 50 has been getting killed on Instagram in reference to his statements about the quote unquote angry black woman and choosing what he deems to be exotic over the angry black woman. And we're going to discuss that tonight. Go ahead, Keita.
Why I gotta go first? So I saw the post on Instagram the other day, and I was like so upset. And I think what upset me the most is then watching Little Wayne's daughter um, post of pictures of herself saying, you know, I'm enough. I'm exotic. I'm enough. I'm a black woman. I'm a queen. You know, I deserve love. And then her mother went right behind her and posted pictures of her daughter and said, you know, I love you. You're beautiful. You know, you're enough. And then seeing the different people posting selfies saying the same thing. I'm exotic. I'm enough. I'm black. I'm beautiful. And then seeing the conversations around, you know, we're always here to rally behind, you know, these black men, and then they laugh at us. You know, they get on TV and they laugh at us and they make fun of us. um, Kevin Hart's wife posted underneath the little because what 50 Cent did was he posted the same clip of the video and basically was like, I said what I said and I'm not explaining anything. And he was like, and I'm not going to discuss it. And underneath the clip, Kevin Hart's wife posted, she made comments to him basically saying, you know, you shouldn't have said that, you know, and she expressed herself. I think she said, you know, this isn't okay and you shouldn't feel or think this way. And all underneath his post, he had thousands and thousands of comments. I looked through so many purposely to see how many men would defend black women, and none of them did. They all said, oh, he didn't say y'all were ugly. you know, and it's true, and you know, we want exotic women, this is what we like, you know, just all men defending what he said. I even saw somebody that I know, I don't know him personally, but I know him, I don't know him well, and he made a comment, oh, you all hear whatever y'all want to hear, and you know, he didn't say that black women were ugly. And I said to him, and I don't normally comment on the celebrities posts, but I said directly to him, I said it was ignorant. And he came back to me and was like, no, I think what he, you know, what y'all missing is, I said, I'm not missing anything. There is no reason for anyone to say that, you know, to defend what you like, you don't have to talk down to black women. And then he went into, well, nah, he was comparing it to cars and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, again, and we human beings are not material objects. So what is the comparison? I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, well, maybe I just didn't hear it the correct way. You did hear it. The only, and it's okay. You just agree with it. Like, you know, stop trying to, and I find this, I have this issue with people just in general. Be honest and stop trying to inflict what you're talking about on me. Like, I didn't mishear anything. I heard exactly what he said. You just need to be honest about what you are actually saying. You just agree with him and just say, I agree with him. Don't tell me that I misheard anything. I heard what he said. I know what he said. You agree that that's the kind of woman you like and that's what you want. And, you know, it's okay. And that all of that is fine. But I have the exact same right to feel as though when you want to discuss or talk about other women, go ahead. You can talk about what you like. You are entitled to like what you like. But it's not okay for you to talk about black women. It's not all right. So that was, you know, my overall, that's how it started. And then that's when I think I sent you guys the articles and different things of that nature. You know, it's just hurtful. Like, and the comments that he made were like, you know, these black, and I know he wanted to say bitches, but then he stopped himself. And, you know, then he was throwing his hands up like he was going to fight, talking about how they get so aggressive and defensive and they want to fight you, and you know how they do. And it's, you know, I literally said before we got on to the show, I'm so tired. I'm physically and mentally exhausted from trying to just communicate with black men. And I'm tired. I just want to stop talking and I don't want to be bothered. It's so unsettling and disheartening to think, because I can't imagine all of these black women so angry with him every time they see him and go to talk to him, that he got to throw his hands up and be so defensive and then get nasty. I just feel like, when do they stop and listen and want to resolve something versus being defensive and offended all the time? Like, how in the hell can you, and you're supposed to be a man, and you're always offended? When do you want to solve or fix or work something out or talk about something? If that is the case, that means that he had several, and I'm lowballing, he had several opportunities to talk to black women and tell them something and teach them something and settle something in their spirit, or settle the way that they were feeling. And he chose not to, and he chose to be angry, mad, and defensive, because that's what he said. That's how they came at me, and that's how I came at them. But again, I can't imagine every single one of them doing that. All I know is that too often when we go to talk to men, they're entirely too offended and defensive, and nobody wants to talk to you anymore. I don't. Maybe Keisha wants to talk to y'all, but I don't want to talk to any of you. I'm exhausted. You can't solve anything. You can't fix anything.
Keisha, what's your take on it?
Lil Wayne is ignorant. You and I had this conversation previously. It's amazing to me how people get mad at these celebrities, but if they had the opportunity, they would be just like them. So I didn't necessarily take it that 50, I'm coming. I didn't necessarily take it that 50 was dogging black women. But I did feel like he was dogging urban women. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, they're exotic, they're different. They're different than,
The
you
average
know,
regular.
the average regular. And, you know, for me, I know a lot of men that feel that way. That's why a lot of them in Pennsylvania got big, fat, nasty white girls. I know a lot of them that feel that way.
Shots
That's
fired.
different.
Shots fired for the people in Pennsylvania.
So, you know, like I didn't take it. Like I'm really of the mindset that if Harriet would have shot you, I gotta leave you where you are. I don't, ignorance is not triggering me right now. I mean,
Mhm.
tomorrow maybe, but not right now. So I feel like especially people who grew up disadvantaged, I guess that's the right way to say it.
Mhm.
They want this thing and this image, and you know they don't want to deal with the girl who loved you when you had nothing. That's not what they want to deal with. But what was interesting to me, because his girlfriend, Cuban Link, so I guess I don't know if she's black. I know she's some type of Spanish and she's a lawyer or whatever. She was like, I already slapped them, y'all. So
Like an
then that says to me that the women that you're around know that you're talking like a clown. 50, I
Mhm.
mean, Lil Wayne, your daughter is, first of all, your daughter's lost. You need to put them drugs down because, you know, she letting somebody screw her on Instagram. Basically, your daughter should be treated like royalty. But again, you don't know any better. So I don't have any fight for these niggas that don't know any better. So
Okay.
that's how I feel about it.
I just want to before I even get into it, I want to put something in context of something that I had looked up. The angry black woman stereotype is a trope in American society that portrays the African American woman as sassy, ill mannered, and ill tempered by nature. Related concepts that sapphire or sassy black woman. Scholars Dion Bennett and Marcellia Morgan suggested the stereotype is less studied than the Mammy and Jezebel archetypes because researchers accept it as true. Carolyn West
Hmm.
defines the angry black woman as one variety of sapphire stereotype. West defines the pervasive sapphire ABW image as a template for portraying almost all black women as serving several purposes. West sees it as a passion and righteous indignation, often misread as irrational anger, used to silence and shame black women who dare to challenge
Mm, mm,
social
mm, mm,
inequities, complain about their circumstances, or demand fair treatment. Defined by Pelham, it is a social control mechanism that is employed to punish black women who violate societal norms that encourage them to be passive, servile, non threatening, and unseen. It
right.
has been characterized as leading to form a double bind. I,
Mhm.
as a man, as a black man, and coming from a woman and having sisters and having um, a lot of women in my family because I come from a big family. I never really looked at this stereotype as serious, to be perfectly honest with you. And now I kind of understand why so many women get offended at being called angry. So many black women get offended at being called angry because it's a bad stereotype that even historically, once you go back all the way back to it, it goes back to when the European came in contact with the African queen, and she had so much prestige and honor that he felt as though she was carrying herself better than he was. And in all actuality, we know she is better than he is.
Right.
But when I looked at the video, I looked at that clip twice, and then I looked at the whole video, which was interesting because the whole time you just heard Little Wayne laughing, and it was
Yeah.
more
Oh,
50
cracking
Cent.
up, saying word, word,
Yeah, you
word.
heard 50 Cent just talking. I at first, after reading the clip, then looking at the whole video, I didn't think that 50 was being so offensive. But at the end of the day, one thing that people, celebrities as well as normal people, when we do stuff in open, we need to be very mindful of how it comes across. The optics looked terrible. I mean, you're entitled to like and choose who you want to choose to be with. However, when you make the statement exotic, what is that? What is exotic? What is this is where I take umbrage. It's like what is exotic? I'm quite sure that when you choosing to be with somebody, that person that you choose to be with should stand out more than everyone else. However, in his monologue or what he was saying, he basically was like the exotic or the person that look different looks different than the person in the hood. I mean, what does that mean? Why are you down? This is the same very hood that you came from
Mm-hmm.
uh, when you didn't have anything that supported you, that actually made you who you are. And it's amazing if he really understood his base, he will understand that these same African American women that he made feel inferior are his base because they're the ones that spend the more money as consumers. Um, so I don't think that his like I said I don't think that his initial thing was made to offend anybody, but when it landed, it didn't land well, and then he like doubled down, and that's what makes it worse. And that speaks to a bigger issue is when we offend people as people, we could say well we don't care and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, you have kids, you have a wife, you had a mother, you have females in your family. At the end of the day, if somebody's telling you they're offended about something that you said that landed, that everybody universally said they were offended by, especially African American women, then you should take that into consideration and realize that you offended them because this is a stereotype that you
But
led right into the
but
stereotype.
Quentin, I listen. So I'm gonna say this, and not for a pity party, but no one cares when they offend the black woman.
Right,
And
right.
what we do as black women, we still try to support and fight for everybody. If you really look at it, the election, they looking for the black women. The black women lead the charge. We supposed to lead everything, put our feelings to the side, be dragged to the mud. Nobody supports the black woman. Even the woman rights movement, it don't have nothing, it don't have shit to do with the black woman. It never did. So it's just status quo kinda in America. It's
You
just
think,
it's
Keisha,
status quo.
Keisha, you think that and I do hear what you're saying. Do you think that's more of every black women feel isolated or not feel protected or not feel that people care about their feelings? You think that comes from white supremacy?
Yes. Because we were so if you look at it, like even when we go to the doctor, they don't recognize if we're in pain. We're because we're so strong. Everything is that we supposed to be so strong. So yeah, it comes from white supremacy. And when you think about it, not that black men wasn't dealing with their own bunch of issues, but we were definitely dealing with issues when you go back to our kids being taken from us or our
Being
man being
being forced to have a lot of children to
right,
breed slaves.
being a sex slave.
Right. I hear all of that, but let's fast forward to say a generation ago, right? So when you think of how when I feel like I get all of that, but I feel like there was still respect for mothers and sisters and female and your best friend who's a girl. There was still a level of respect for those people. I feel like now something has shifted and has changed. where I feel like a lot of what's happening between men and women, it's a full-on role reversal. And I feel like, when do you, like, at what point did he think to himself, I should not say this? Like, when did you get so far removed from Black women that are all around you that you would say something and it be that offensive? And I hear you and Keisha saying, well, I don't think he was trying to, but when you speak about, I'm not from the hood, but I'm still a Black woman. So when you talk about them, you're talking about me, and it's not okay. When you have to talk about them to defend why you like somebody else, you're talking about me too. Because for all I know, I'm a paycheck away from being homeless, or I'm a bad decision away from moving out of my nice place, you know what I mean, to a shelter, which is right in the middle of, it could be right in the middle of the hood, where all of those women could be doing a whole lot better than I'm doing. Like, just because they're from the hood don't mean that they're doing bad, don't mean that they look bad, don't mean that they don't speak multiple languages, don't mean that they don't make decent money, doesn't mean that they don't drive nice cars, that they can't appreciate a good man or can't appreciate a man with any money. None of those things are true. So when you make it a point to act like you want a particular type of woman because she seems so exotic, because they're not like the regular women in the hood, he's not talking about women that are not from the hood. He's talking about something completely different. And the best thing he probably could have done was to not get into detail about what he meant. If he was really being interviewed by somebody who didn't live that life, because Lil Wayne likes that too. He likes these white women that get all that work done and look like us. So he understood what he meant. But could you imagine if he was being interviewed by somebody that was like, well, what do you mean exotic? Explain to me what that means. And really had to get him to say it. He would put his foot in his mouth, and he would have been talking about Black women in general. He wanted to say from the hood. When was the last time that man lived and was from the hood or dated somebody from the hood? When was the last time he drove through a hood, saw a beautiful woman, and picked her up? Who the hell knows when? It is not a reference that should have been used. And he was talking about Black women, period. I don't care where they're from. They could be doing great. That you could be, I could be a paycheck away from a homeless shelter right in the middle of the damn hood, surrounded by women that is doing a whole lot better than me, because guess what? They got a roof over their head that they can pay rent for, and I can't. So anybody could be from the hood. He was talking about Black women, period. There's no responsibility for what you say and how you treat Black women now. And I keep seeing it, and I'm tired of seeing it, like literally tired of seeing it.
So Lil Wayne don't want nobody like Keisha who sits there and plays scratchers while we doing the show.
No. And I ain't from the hood. How about that?
Ain't that something, Keisha?
But this is why I said it didn't. But this is why I said
grandmother ran numbers.
But what I'm saying is, that's why I said it didn't matter where you were from. He was talking about Black women, period. When was the last time you've been to a hood to be comparing women that's so quote unquote exotic to the hood?
So he said exotic, something like foreign, like that's different.
Right. He was calling Black women hood, period. That's what he was saying, and that's what he was doing. He wasn't talking about Black women from the suburbs. He was talking about Black women, period, and he was calling Black women hood. That's what he was doing.
And then he said they get angry.
Right. His ugly self.
I mean, I think we got a right to be angry. Like, I'm at this point in my life that I'm not limiting who I am because someone gets upset about my passion. Like, when I was younger, you always stereotype as an angry Black woman, and you move according to that. Mm. But ain't nobody doing that now. Then I'm fucking angry. If that's what you feel, it is what it is.
But I don't. Don't get me wrong, and I ain't gonna be sitting up here caping for nothing and nobody. But I don't even define people as these type of definitions. like a whole class of people. I mean, I may be like this particular person or that particular person may be upset or bitter about something, but to say like all black women, I mean,
But most
I just
men.
want y'all to know, like, listen, I know we co-hosts, but listen, at the end of the day, I love black women.
I
I
hear
mean, I
you.
love them. I love them. Like, I don't think people understand. It is some black men like me. We love them. We come from them. So
Well,
I don't. I don't think that I think the
no.
stereotype. I mean, the stereotype at the end of the day is hurtful. It's sad. It's a bad stereotype that we some of us allow ourselves to keep uh, promoting and allowing it to happen to our women. At the end of the day, black woman. I came from a black woman. I have nothing but black women in my family, with the exception of about a couple aunts. But still, at the end of the day, like, sometimes we don't realize how these stereotypes hurt people. I mean, nobody wants to be put in a box. At the end of the day, my whole biggest thing is I'm trying to figure out what is exotic. I mean, somebody that had their boobs done, somebody that had their butt done. What's exotic? He said foreign. I mean, I'm quite sure
I
he.
mean, I always thought that to me, that always means somebody who's black with and mixed with something,
Mm.
or they got a Kim Kardashian body, a bought body, and bought lip. They got black people features, but they might not be black,
I don't know
or
what it
they might not
is.
be.
I don't know what it is. And it's not like, it's not like these men, occasionally they go through, it's not like anybody is like, what's the guy, the basketball player that slept with all the women back in the day?
Will Chamberlain.
Yeah, it's not like they out here, acting like Will and shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not like they get that many women and so many women come across them. So I don't think that that's the case per se, but I think they, even as celebrities, it's something that regular men do all the time. And they also pull the everybody's angry. And as much as they claim to love and cherish and respect black women, you be in a relationship with one of these jokers and ask him a question about something, and you're immediately attacking him, and you're immediately being confrontational all the time. You don't realize how difficult it is to even find somebody that you can communicate with that doesn't turn everything into an argument. Like, you can never have
That's
feelings
true.
about something or ask him about something or wonder about somebody. You can't even be soft and insecure if you wanted to. So if I was being soft and insecure and I had asked you about a woman because I wanted to know, and I'm not even fighting you, I'm just asking you about her. Why are we all of a sudden arguing? And why are you automatically accusing me of accusing you of something? The communication between black men and black women, period, is disgusting.
I'm gonna ask you a question about that, Shakita, and Keita, this is for you too. Do you guys think that is it hard to communicate with black men that you may be giving the cookie to, opposed to a black man that's like your brother or your male friend, and y'all just kicking it, and you and him could communicate very
I think
well.
I don't
But
think
when a
it makes a
relationship
difference.
or it's an attraction there, and it's something that y'all trying to build, do the communication go a different way?
I don't think it makes a difference because here again, you have somebody like 50 Cent who said when women ask him something, he gets so defensive and he was ready to say black bitches and angry black women. Like, this is what he's thinking. And that's why I kept saying I find it really hard to believe that every single woman who wanted to just know why them and not somebody that looked like me, when I'm the one that's from your where you live, I'm the one who knows you, I'm the one who buys all of your music. Why don't y'all date women like us? And you can ask that to any celebrity, a male celebrity. How come you don't date women like us? What's wrong with us? But it's anytime they want to have those conversations, that's all they ever say. That's all they ever say. All of these black male celebrities who date outside of their race or date these quote unquote exotic women, when you want to know why them and not us, it's always, oh, the black women are so angry, angry black women, blah, 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 blah. All of them that has done it. So here we are with regular men on regular levels. You can't even communicate with them. And the only time you can usually communicate with a male friend that you can really communicate with and have a conversation and talk to is because he doesn't feel like he's competing with you. And if you are dating somebody or having sex with somebody and you're in a relationship with them and it's romantic, it's always a competition. It's always, you got to be one up. That's why, people don't, when you feel that energy, you immediately, a lot of people, I can't say for everyone, some people stick it out and want to learn each other and get to know each other. I don't want to, because I feel like you're already, I feel like there's no helping it. All you're doing is competing with me. You think that I'm angry about everything. You complain about everything I do. What you need to do is just fill out a survey. Fill out. Let me make a survey on PowerPoint and have you fill it out so you can check the boxes so that I know exactly how to talk to you and how to approach you about anything and how to say shit to you. Because everything is always, oh, you're attacking me or you're accusing me or I don't like the way you're talking to me. I can't deal with nobody like that. And that comes from people not being honest with themselves. They have an idea in their head of what they think a woman should be like and how a woman should treat them. And I think that's the same with 50 Cent and Lil Wayne. But they think that those women can only come from this type of woman. And that's why they date them. This is what I'll get if I date this type of woman. But if I date that kind of woman, I'm going to get that and I don't want that. So here you have these regular damn men who are saying, probably what they really want, they can't, it ain't on their level. They probably couldn't even get it. So what they trying to do is bend and break you until you be what they want you to be. But how about just be honest and say, you know what? It's time for me to move on because this isn't working for me. Instead of trying to get somebody to be what you want them to be and calling them angry and angry black women and mean and you talk down to me. And then here you are as a black woman feeling like you can't win. I can't win at work because I'm the angry black woman. And if I try to defend myself at work, I'm the angry black woman. So I got to be docile and quiet and meek at work. And then I got to come home to this man that's supposed to love me, but I got to specially talk to him a certain way and stroke his ego all day long. And God forbid something happens that I'm not too sure about. And I want to ask him because he might fly off the handle. And then all of a sudden I'm attacking him and I can't talk to him either. So what do I do? And then you're mad when we have better relationships with our children than we do with you. Who want to be bothered with you?
For anybody in the chat that's that want to get involved in the conversation, the area code is 570-795-4283. You could call in. You can say what you want to say, or you could even put it in the chat. And if you have any questions or statements that you want to say, Keisha, what's your take on it? I mean, Shakita gave us a mouthful right there about the lack of communication.
Well, I mean, I agree. I don't think the communication improves, whether you're talking to a friend or someone that you're romantically involved in. But I just want to know, who are all these angry black women? Like, I don't know a lot of angry black women. I might know one or two, but I just don't know these people who are not, they're so angry and angry at life. So, so that stereotype bothers me in a lot of ways.
The number is
because I don't feel like.
Wait a second, Keisha. The number is 570-795-4283.
Because I feel like
570-795-4283.
Just if you don't want to put up with nonsense, that doesn't make you angry. You could be free-hearted, the most lovable person in the world. You just got to a point in your life that you don't want to put up with nonsense. So I don't even understand what the angry black woman thing is.
It's what it's what they're being taught to say. It's almost like it's just
right.
Instead of you just being honest about what you like and what you want to justify it, we have to be angry. And what I'm saying is, if he literally missed out on multiple opportunities to have discussions with Black women. Why would he do? He had the opportunity, but instead he says, "I got defensive because they're angry Black women." I find it hard to believe that every woman that has ever approached him or questioned him or was in his comments and wanted to know why them and not me, that everybody was so angry. And when I feel like sometimes I give men too much credit. You know, men are supposed to be head of the household. They're supposed to be providers and educators and teachers and preachers. They're supposed to be all of these things to us. And they have so many opportunities to step up to the plate and make a difference. And they choose not to. You know, it's like,
Well,
I'm
that's
not
because
going to bother with them because, you know, they're so angry and you can't tell them nothing.
I feel like Black men don't. Okay. Do I want to say this? I feel like Black men in a lot of ways don't want that role. Like they want the perks of saying I'm the provider and I'm this and I'm that, but they don't want to put the work in to be those things.
No, it's just like when men say, you know, how come Black women don't want to be submissive? It's you. It's not us. It's
Right.
you. You're not putting in the work to do that. But then
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
It's either you're not putting in the work to do that, or she just doesn't like you and you're forcing her, or something's wrong there and you're trying to force it in other ways. You know, you have to lead by example. But then again,
I think adults need to reevaluate their situation. I don't know. I don't see many men taking responsibility for the bad choices that they made in women.
We have
you can't even have that discussion with them it turns into you being angry. They don't want to converse and fix things and talk about things and have dialogue.
We have a caller on the line. We have a caller. Okay. Go ahead, Miqua.
Hi. I'm looking at the video too at the same time. But I was trying to say that, one moment, let me just stop the video. What I would like to say is that they classify us as Black women as us being angry, which we do have a right to be angry because of the things and the details of what we have gone through our ancestors. So part of our lineages of our ancestors are the women that went through and we fight through because our Black men are being incarcerated, because we have to become the head of the household. The same scenario what we have heard of years. Yes, we are aggravated and we are how can we say, not apologetic of the struggle that we have to become the head house. We have to be the mother, we have to be the father, the teacher, the preacher. We have to do all those things. And so what we are classified as Black women as angry. It's not that we're angry, we're just fed up about it. Now, Keisha made a point as where she said that where we shouldn't have to compromise. No, we should not have to compromise. We should set our standards and put our boundaries down. And so we're classified because we have boundaries and what we're not going to take and what we're not going to put up. And so therefore we're angry. So that's what I basically wanted to say. I wanted to finish listening to it because you guys are saying so much good topics. And I can't type text so fast, but I'm really interested in more of what you're trying to say. So I'm trying to listen to the video and comment in at the same time.
Hey, Miqua, let me ask you a question from a woman's perspective, from your perspective. Do you think that you're getting enough support from Black men?
Ask that question again.
Do you think that as a Black woman you get enough support from Black men?
No. The reason why I say that is because it comes from the grandfather. A Black man will watch the men and their family, how the way they treat the women in their family, and 9 out of 10, the men in the family sticks underneath the women so much, so they have the women tendencies to go by what the women taught them, and they don't know what type of support to give to the woman the black woman or how a black man is supposed to support their women because they're more under the women all the time. So they know we don't get the support of black men. You have a few that say, you know what, because of the absence of my father, I'm going to do something different. But still, they learn that from the woman, and the woman only can give but so much to teach her black sons how to be the best supporter of their family and that family, you know, for a black sister or any woman. That it don't have to be black. It can be any woman. What I have learned of going outside my race, it doesn't have to be definitely black. All men, if they have the right training, how my mom says, grooming. If you groom that black male or that Caucasian male to support that woman, it's not a color thing. It's really not a color thing. It's the man itself. So the question is, no, I don't feel that black men support women as much because 9 out of 10, that black man don't normally have a plan for that woman to even lead her. So therefore, they are tending to lead and lean on that black woman to make a decision what she's going to cook, what they're going to wear, what they're going to where they're going to go for vacation. She has to put in the work, and most of the time, someone said they don't want to put the work in, and that's what it takes for a black man to support a black woman. You have to put the work in. If you don't want it, then that's basically you're saying, I'm giving up my free will, and I'm going to depend on this black woman, and I'm going to drain her and move on to the next exotic woman that's going to take her place because she's going to do everything and anything for me, and I don't have to work for it.
Well, listen, I appreciate you calling in, and I'll see your comments in the chat, and I appreciate your point of view, and take care down there, all right?
Thank you for calling.
It's good hearing your voice. I ain't heard that voice in a couple years. Yeah,
so, you know, it's almost like by the time they find their exotic woman, they have gone through all of they're so settled into who they are that they no longer have the same insecurities. It's no longer the same fight. It's almost like we've healed you through trial and error. And now you've moved on to somebody else and you're the perfect man. You're the perfect man. You know, you are giving her exactly what she wants, everything that she's asked you for. And because you can give her everything that she asked you for, there's no beef, there's no issue, there's no problem. So and now y'all living happily ever after, and now you're acting like you've met your soulmate. But when I asked you for something, when I told you what I needed, you didn't give it. And when you asked her, do you feel like black men support you? I feel like they don't support me either. You can be jokers will flirt with me in a minute and be kind and be nice, right? Mm-hmm. I can, but what I need support in is when, because I feel like this is always the breaking point for me, is when there's any kind of real dialogue that needs to be had. Where I need you to support me there. I need you to not to up and run and leave and want to avoid after you've already accused me of being angry and accusing you and not understanding you and doing all of this other stuff. And now and then you just want to up and leave like you the girl. So now I have to sort out how I was feeling because mentally and emotionally you're not there for me. You disappear. So now I have to sort out how I feel. I have to sort out what's going on with me. I have to sort out all of the things that I was feeling. 9 times out of 10, I need to get over that person that I was just with so that I can bounce back and get back to my regular life and forget that I've ever, been seeing this person or dating this person because you want to just up and disappear because I'm not chasing nobody. So now, again, I've been abandoned. So as long as I'm meek, docile, and quiet and don't ever say anything to you about anything, then I'm not accused of being the angry black woman and the accusing woman and the insecure woman. And then I can go on about my life. So I'm trying to figure out where are the black men where I can be uncomfortable sometimes. I can have questions sometimes. I can be insecure sometimes and not be told, why are you like that? oh, you just being insecure, or you don't, or you just accusing me of stuff. Why can't I be a regular person? Because if you went to go date another woman of another race, you wouldn't think of her that way. I feel like it's just what they think of me. And when 50 Cent said, angry black, they you know, I get defensive. I throw my hands up and I want to fight. And I'm thinking to myself, you got fans asking you basic questions and you want to fight them because they're black? Because they're black women? What are you fighting them for? You didn't even hear them out. And that's on that scale. Imagine what we have to deal with on a regular scale. And every black man, every comment that I read, I skimmed through hundreds. Not a single black man said, "Nah, you wrong. Black women are not angry. You wrong. Black women can communicate and talk to you." Not a single one. They always like, "That's right. They probably all gonna come here mad. They mad now, I bet."
let me just reset and play his video back.
See what I'm saying? And I look and I go, yo, this is why they get mad, they get angry. And you see a lot of sisters, they go, oh, you fucking with this kind of girl or that kind of girl. That shit is exotic.
Stupid.
That shit look a lot different from the shit that you see in the neighborhood all the time. It looks like that shit look like it came off a boat, baby. Goddamn, you don't like that, motherfucker? You don't like that? You go, goddamn, what's the matter with you? It feels like something foreign. It feels like something that you can't just get. So in some kind of ways, it is interesting to explore. You know what I'm saying? But they get mad, they get angry. How did you end up with this motherfucker or this, that? I'm like, huh?
For real. They get real
I just look at it
upset.
like, oh, look at this angry. And then my instincts always makes me defensive. So I go, look at this angry black motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. You're trying to fuck up the whole vibe. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because you're going.
Keisha.
Again, it doesn't bother me. I mean, in some capacity, it's just sad, but in some capacities, we are going to have to date people who love and respect us, and that might not be a black man. Because the reality is, just as much as they think them getting off the boat is exotic, that's how a white man look at me.
And then
So,
what was that phrase that you like to use, Keisha? What you always like to say?
What I'm a white man's dream?
Yeah. What do you know? What do he call you again?
Mocha booty. Mocha booty. So I mean, you know, it doesn't necessarily bother me, but they be so upset when the Serena Williams of the world get her a white man, or the Eve get her a white man. Like it gets to a point in life that who wants to put up with that nonsense? And Shakita is correct. I'm not going to say it's just black women. I'm going to say it's all women, maybe black, maybe mainly black and Spanish women. Like, we mold these men, we get them together, they piece of shits for us, and then they go to the next woman and be the best man they could be.
Yeah, they got all their kinks out, all the practice.
Yeah, so you know, that's frustrating.
I think Tyler Perry addressed that issue. Which show was that Kim Elise was in? Where she was
the one when she put her husband in the water, in the bath water, and left him there?
I think Tyler Perry tried to address that issue because she was, from what the backdrop was, that she was real supportive on his ascension on being a lawyer.
Okay.
And then he chose something else. And all
even waiting to exhale.
Yeah.
Hell, even Michael Jordan, Juanita Jordan is a smart woman. She's a little older than Michael. She was there every step of the way. The only thing is you hear about is how much money she got from Michael. Not that she had been riding for you from day one before you were in the NBA. So it's almost like black women should be okay with accepting peanuts. Like, we should be okay with accepting the bottom of the barrel. And I feel like
Miko said they take the energy and plants from you and give it to someone else.
Yes. But it's almost like people are upset with us now because of the confidence, and they're not willing to be the cleanup woman. We're not willing to just accept whatever.
You
I'll
know,
be by myself before I accept whatever.
right. It's almost like, I've had men come into my space in my life, want to date me so bad, begging, begging, begging. You date them,
Oh shit.
you evaluate the relationship, and it's, just give me time. I'm trying to get it together. Just give me time. Just give me time. How much you knew you needed time before you got here? And you knew you needed time. You knew you had all of this stuff going on, and you knew good and well that you wasn't prepared to do anything with me once you got me. You just wanted to have me, and that's why. And I learned that a long time ago. So I'm very, like, when people be like, when certain men they show interest. I thank God every day for giving me enough sense to turn down dates and turn down men and just say no thank you. Even though there's nothing wrong with you, you're probably a really nice guy. God has given me enough sense to know that you don't want to do anything with me. There's some men that want to date, that like you. I'm grateful for the turnaround time where I don't have to waste time with nobody. When I see things that come up that I don't like, I walk away. And sometimes I stay with people a little bit longer than I should. And I forgive myself for doing that too. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I feel like I'm on top of things. But when you talk about Black women as a whole, you calling them angry, I don't like it. And I'm gonna say something. I just don't like it. And I say that, granted, he's a celebrity and he's saying it, and I probably won't run into him, and I'm not his type, and I wouldn't date him. But I deal with the same thing from regular men too. They can act like they worship the ground you walk on. Have an argument with that joker. Talk about something that bothers you, or ask him a question about something. Trust and believe. That is the reverse psychology that they pull on you, and that's their defense mechanism to call you angry when you're just simply asking a question.
You guys got a compliment that I'm gonna read out loud so people can see it. It's from my cousin, Safia. She said, "Keita and Keisha for president and vice president. I really enjoyed this discussion. You salute, you sisters. Thank you for this platform, cousin Quentin." So, my cousin.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are really, you guys really are opening up an issue. But like I said, as from a man's perspective, maybe, like I said prior to this particular situation, I never really looked at the how the angry Black woman stereotype could be very offensive. I mean, very disrespectful.
My son the other day sent me a YouTube video. It was probably about a half hour, 40 minutes long. And my younger son, 21, and it was about the history of the angry Black woman. And it started with, the whole Mammy movie roles, and how they only gave them those movie roles. And then how all of a sudden, and it was more or less about the angry Black woman in the industry, and how now you see on every television, every movie, even movies and television shows that I never even thought of. I didn't think those women were angry, but once it was explained and put into perspective, I thought, wow, I'm even to blame, because I'll look at Black women behaving a certain way, and I'm so used to the way the media portrays us that I didn't even notice it. Like, how often do you see a Black woman just being her regular self? And why is she considered angry? Why, when I'm watching it, I think she's angry? How come she just can't be expressing herself or talking about something? Like, you have one bad movie, one bad moment in a television show, and you're branded forever as the angry Black woman. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up, because not to take it there, but in James Baldwin's book that turned into a movie, I'm Not Your Negro, he points that out. He points that out about how Hollywood actually was instrumental in instilling white supremacy in this country. Mm-hmm. And with everything that's going on in the world now, and hopefully we're getting more changes that aren't symbolic changes, but real systemic changes and structural changes. How Hollywood has to change the narrative, and Hollywood needs to really go back at that because you're right, Shakita, that a lot of these movies that, Monique is considered an angry black woman, and like most people don't know Monique from a can of paint. Like nobody knows who she
Right.
really is. She's the comedian. I mean, but she's got this stereotype on her because she's going against the Hollywood status quo.
The status quo.
Now,
But that's
but
what I mean. Like
but
Go ahead, Keith.
I don't know many angry black women. Like to be honest, I got over 21st cousins. I got a gang of friends. I don't know many angry black women. So
so
I
you,
don't even understand the whole stereotype.
so you think so? So I said this earlier. 50 Cent he hasn't dated hundreds of black women, right? And these regular jokers ain't dated 10. So why do they all think or pull the angry black woman card when they need to defend themselves instead of communicating like adults? It has to be something that they're seeing on television all the time. It has to be something that's being programmed in their brains. Because when do you date and see all of these so-called angry black women? How do you even
Or maybe their mamas was angry. I found that a lot of people have mommy issues.
That's true too.
Right? So, I mean, I just don't get it. Like, what black women after his baby mother has he really dated outside of Vivica Fox?
And then he dated that
Chelsea Handler. She's a white lady.
That's exotic.
I'm gonna ask you guys.
But she's a white lady from New Jersey, so she angry.
I think that one of the issues that could be problematic for us is that a lot of men, when they're going through when they're going through their maturation process as a young kid to being a man, they may not understand that when you're dealing with a woman, she expects you to lead, not be led.
But if you have any kind of personality, no, you don't. You won't let me lead. You being too this, you being too that. Just because you got a personality, they want to lead blind, deaf, and dumb.
But I think, but Keita,
why is it so hard for you to understand that I'm just a regular person? Like, why do you need?
I think that one of the issues, Keita, is that it does not have to be a spoken thing. I think that as men, and I could be role defining, and sometimes roles need to be defined in certain situations, but nobody's gonna allow you to lead them to misery, whether it's a man or a child.
No damn fool.
whether
I mean, that just don't make no sense.
I mean, you have a right. You have a right, and you have an obligation to lead. And it's. I think that most men may not find this out until they get a little older in age, or some people may never find it out, and vice versa. Some women may feel like I've been leading myself this far. I ain't got no time to be like Shakita said. I don't have no time to be working on you to get yourself together. You knew you wasn't together before you even approached me. Why should I have to wait and subject myself to your insufficiencies because you ain't together? And I definitely can understand that perspective. I think a lot of people will try to come in real flawed, and they be so flawed, and it's like my flaws have nothing to do with Keisha and Shakita. But sometimes we'll try to dump our flaws on other people. Oh, I ain't got it together, so you should work with me.
They don't even realize they have flaws. They be coming out of relationships. And that's one thing I can honestly say about women. They
got newborn babies.
We're very transparent when we are coming out of bad relationships. We don't act like the relationship we just left was the best relationship in the world. We have nothing negative to say about him. He was so amazing. It just didn't work. I'm ready to date. Jokers be coming out of marriages, babies, trauma, being mistreated, ain't never did nothing, worked themselves to the ground, and here they are looking for new love, don't know how to take time off, don't know how to care about themselves, don't know how to care about you for that matter, can't even care about you because they don't know how to care about themselves because all they do is work all the time. But they so ready to be in love. You just came out of a traumatizing relationship. Oh no, it was fine. It was fine. Bringing all them flaws and all that baggage, and you won't even recognize the fact that you dealing with some bullshit. So, anytime there's a disagreement or something that happens in normal relationships, everything is put on you. You're the angry one. The whole angry, blaming me. Oh, I can't never do nothing right. I can't deal with that shit no more. I can't. It's no way in hell we talking about something, and the first thing you want to do is, oh, I can't do nothing right, or oh, you're blaming me, or oh, you're so nasty, you angry. I can't. Everything can't be my fault. Everything can't be my fault. I still want to be bothered. I won't be bothering nobody. Good luck, everybody, but I can't.
I think that's kind of like a defense mechanism, so you shut up.
But it's like that with all Black women. It's like that at work. I get that shit and I'm not saying I get that at my job, but we get that at work. You can't even go to work and stand up for yourself and defend yourself when another coworker says it does something to you, because it's immediately it's, oh, I'm afraid, or you threaten me, or I'm
you angry.
Now. Yeah, you're angry. I'm uncomfortable now. I want to move away from you. So you're afraid to say things anymore because and then they offend you. You're offended. You can't even be honest and say, you did something that offended me, because they'd be like, excuse me, you offend you, the strong Black woman. You're not offended. You're not insecure.
Start crying.
Yeah, you're
Start crying.
Hey, Keisha,
you want to know about something? Or being insecure?
Keisha, I don't think Shakita ever heard you put that good old education to use, and how you start using those tears. Keisha,
you turn into a Karen. You start crying, and then you say, "Are you saying me? I have an attitude. The Black woman, the only Black woman in the group." Oh, you start your ass crying and start taking notes. I'm giving y'all free smoke. And then you say you can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't think, you make you a record, and you sue the fuck out of them. That is Karen 101.
Keita, my cousin said that what you're describing is a classic narcissist codependent relationship, as far as a mate becoming defensive when you want to address reflection in the relationship.
Oh, I know. Narcissists love me. I am their dream. I am their dream woman. And you want to know why? Because I like a good debate. So I'll debate you under the bus. And they know it, and they like that attention that they get. But what they don't know is when I shut down, and when I'm off, I'm off. When I'm on, I'm on. So once it's over, it's a wrap. Like, I literally just be like,
you got it.
I know all about a narcissist. I mean, I dated one who act like he couldn't stand me and refused to break up. I was like, yeah, no. This isn't an option. We're breaking up. This is happening. I don't want to be with you anymore. You don't even like me. I do. I love you. Oh, no, you don't love me. You can't stand me. You can't stand me. There's no way you like me. You can't stand me. Jokers complain about everything I do.
Well, listen,
the way I order food, everything, and you wanted to stay.
I have we're gonna close the show. I know we had another issue we wanted to discuss. We'll just try to discuss that another day. It's getting kind of late, and all three of us got something we got to do tomorrow. That's a little bit of important with our obligations. Tomorrow gonna be a rough day for me at work. It's already planned what we doing. I know.
I got to office.
Yeah, Shakita got to show her face at the office post COVID, so I already know she going in there with Clorox wipes and everything in her
I hope
hand.
I'm in and out. I just want to go in, do a few hours worth of work, and be out.
And Keisha just got back from vacation for anybody that missed up on the page and showing that face. I didn't bother Keisha on vacation because she had enough going on. But
I called you though.
yeah, and I told you, I said enjoy your vacation. I'll talk to you later. But
Yeah.
anyway, any final words, young ladies?
Nope. I'm about to get real busy. I have something new about to pop off, and I don't have time for nothing that does not support me mentally and emotionally because I'm gonna be mental and emotional. So anything that can't support me mentally and emotionally, I can't do it.
I'm
Right.
gonna just read what my cousin put up as the final words for the show. She said regarding the workplace biases and prejudices, as well as racism, that begins with microaggressions. When we don't check it at the door, they run with it. If the aggressor has stamina, they'll use constant microaggressions to try to break you. With that, we're gonna close the show. Everybody, we really appreciate you guys for joining us tonight. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, make sure that you like, subscribe,
And
share.
thank everybody for watching.
share the
Everybody
page
that
with
watched, thank you.
share
Thank
the page
you.
with like-minded people. I mean, we want the YouTube channel as well as the Facebook page to grow, but it's not always about the numbers. It's about the quality of the people that's subscribing to the YouTube page and as well as in the Facebook group. And
Just thumbs up, heart likes. Hold down the like button and move your finger over to the heart. Go to YouTube, press the thumbs up. Thank you.
we appreciate you guys. And
Good night.
everybody have a blessed night.
Bye.